What's good, everyone? It has been a while. I know. I am sorry for the delay, but we are here. I am currently rewatching the Search for Tsunade arc, so that will also be out at some point. But here is the Konoha Crush arc retrospective, a compilation of my thoughts as I rewatch this arc. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it. Let's go. Do you know what the original plan for the invasion was? It seems like Gaara was supposed to transform after they got the signal. But because Gaara was having a fit, he was too low on chakra. The Leaf Village was lucky because it looks like they weren't even expecting the snakes. So a big surprise of snakes and Shukaku would have been crazy. Even the comments from the Sand Village ninjas sound like they were relying on Gaara's transformation. So honestly, the Leaf Village was lucky that this was stalled a little bit. It's crazy, a lot of them should have been Chunins after this. The invasion really messed up their ninja ranking progress. Even in this moment, the Proctor tells Sasuke, listen, you are already at Chunin level. And he said that just off seeing an unfinished battle. All Sasuke did was show his improved speed and the Chidori. And that jutsu was enough to put him on Chunin level. I understand that a lot was going on, but the fact that Kakashi never petitioned them to become Chunin like Naruto and Sasuke is crazy. It's funny seeing Iruka trying to not be biased. He's like, oh no, I must root for all of them equally. They're all my students. Look, it's okay, Iruka. We are all Team Naruto, okay? It's okay. Let your bias show. It's alright. Even Konohamaru and his classmates call him out. Like, dang, this guy tweaking over here. I'm surprised Iruka didn't sneak out to watch Naruto's fight. Or maybe he could have gotten a substitute teacher or something. That would have been a perfect use of the clone jutsu, actually.
Kakashi's first reason for Ino and Choji not going makes little to no sense. Just say you didn't want them to go. But saying that it would have took too long is kinda crazy. Now the point that he made about a 4-man squad was valid though. And side note, this moment with Guy saving Naruto has so much aura. He saved Naruto and even made an opening for them to get out. But this new mission is interesting because Kakashi talks as if Sasuke went to chase Gaara on his own. He didn't. Sasuke was instructed by the Proctor to go after Gaara. It's just interesting that they're all on the same team, but the Proctor is telling Sasuke one thing, and Kakashi is saying, no, he shouldn't be doing that. Go get him now.
Orochimaru is such a troll, bro. The third Hokage does a combo with his jutsu, and Orochimaru is screaming like the combo is being effective. But the third Hokage is like, yo, stop trolling, bro. I know you playing around right now. And he was faking it the whole time. And what's even more trollish is the fact that he brought back the first and second Hokage. It's like, hey, since Sarutobi didn't want to pass the Kage title to Orochimaru, he's gonna make him fight two Kages. Nah, but the real reason is that Orochimaru wants the third Hokage to know what it feels like to fight a teacher, just like he's doing. Also, notice here that the first Hokage doesn't have the same personality that we're used to seeing. You know, the fun-loving, carefree personality, you know, more comical. The explanations that I've seen was that number one, Orochimaru's summoning wasn't perfected yet. And number two, this version of the summoning had full control over them, including their emotions.
Do you remember when they didn't know if they could trust Shikamaru to be reliable? Good times, good times. Also, this series is so self-aware. There's literally a scene of Shikamaru saying that Sakura is a kunoichi with no particular talent. Okay, how about give her a talent then? Also, it's interesting looking back seeing what Shikamaru's goals were. He wanted to just have a normal life with a normal wife and be an ordinary ninja with an ordinary salary and then retire. But we see what happens in Boruto. And Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Ladies and gentlemen, the animation has changed, so you know what that means. Epicness is about to follow, and it did. First, we start out with some hand-to-hand combat with Hashirama, and the third Hokage trips him up and he quickly falls back. Next, we got Tobirama coming in for some hand-to-hand combat, and then the third Hokage just throws him like a ragdoll. And next, we got Hashirama pretty much skating on the water, blocking firebending attacks from third Hokage. More hand-to-hand, and then wait a second, oh! That was a dirty trick he did, but we'll allow it. Yo, he is really smacking the third Hokage with fists right now, and just when he thinks that he can get a break, nope, he grabbed him. Second Hokage coming in again. Okay, this is not fair. It should have been 1v1, and then it was 3v1, and then it was 3v2. Like, give the third Hokage a fair one, 1v1. Come on, man. Tell me why Tamari's opponents just kept getting a little bit stronger and stronger every time we saw her fight. We first saw her fight Tenten, and we know how that went. And then she had to fight Shikamaru, and that was really, that was a challenge for her. And then she fights Sasuke. Every opponent just gets insanely more tough than the previous one. It's crazy. I think I heard Sasuke say that he was going to use Chidori during this fight. He didn't, but he was planning to. Or maybe he was just hyping himself up. I don't know. Do you remember Orochimaru's goal? It was to master every jutsu possible. And honestly, the goal itself isn't what's bad. It was never really a bad goal, but it was how he wanted to get there was the issue. He was using forbidden jutsus to toy with life, to toy with others actually, to experiment on them, to get to his own goals. His desire for knowledge of every jutsu possible
was greater than his desire to be Hokage. He said, what does it matter if I'm Hokage if I'm still limited to how many jutsus I'll be able to learn? He wanted an immortality jutsu, and he was doing experiments on other ninjas just to get it. The one thing that I noticed from my memory, we don't get a lot of Orochimaru flashbacks. We get flashbacks where Orochimaru is present, he's present in other people's flashbacks, but we don't get many that's focused on him. Of course, we get some during this arc that shows him getting caught doing the experiments and all that, but it's like, I want to see more fleshed out flashbacks for him. Like, I would like to see detailed attempts of the third Hokage trying to change his ways, or trying to convince him to change, or something like that. Like, all we really see is that they try to stop him and bring him back. I don't know, I would just like more detail, I guess. Let's look at all the characters we see in this montage. We got the first and second Hokage with Hiruzen and those two elders, and then we got the third Hokage and the three Sannin, and then we got Jiraiya and Minato's team. So I did some research, and it seems like Jiraiya was the sensei for this team. It's interesting we don't see much of the other two teammates. And then we got Orochimaru and Anko, and I guess they just couldn't bother including the other two teammates that were on her team as well. But wait, hold on, there's Minato's team, Kakashi, Obito, and Rin. These early designs, man, this is funny. It's like you can see the idea was there, but just not fully fleshed out yet. And then we see Naruto as a baby, and then we see Aruka, and then we see Team 7. There always seems to be Konohamaru slander, but I just want to bring up this one moment in the Konoha Crush arc. When the whole class is evacuating away from the invasion, Konohamaru is the one that his teammates go to for, comfort and security and protection. To me, this scene does show that Konohamaru is developing as a character in this story. He's the one comforting them with his words and his encouragement. Like, this is going to be the guy who defeats a pain, and then in Boruto becomes a sensei for one of the strongest teams in Boruto. Seeing Sasuke interact with a character like Shino is pure comedy, low-key. Well, honestly, we don't really see him interact with much of the other Konoha 12, but with him interacting with Shino, it's like they're having an aura farming battle. Like, oh no, I'll be done in 10 minutes. Oh no, I'll be done in 10 minutes. Now I'll come to help you. No, I'll come to help you. It's like, okay, chill out. We don't need to see who's cooler right now. Like, there's a whole invasion going on. Like, somebody just go and fight. And Shino doesn't get a lot of dialogue usually anyway. So seeing him show this snarky personality is interesting. Rewatching this scene, I can see what Sakura is able to bring to the team during these early arcs. So in this scene, Pakun warns him that there's two people ahead of them, probably in a battle. Naruto doesn't care, he'll go straight through it and just take on any danger that comes. But Sakura is there to reel him back and say, hey, let's make the smart decision. They can't just go in head first. It's a risk that they just can't take. Their mission is to go after Sasuke, not go through a random battle. And so people like to rag on Sakura, but she does bring in a mature logic in the right situations, just like this example. And so her contribution may not be in combat yet, but she does contribute in this other way. The Chunin exams arc and the Konoha Crush arc really start a good win-to-lose ratio for Shino. I honestly think he might have one of the best and cleanest win-to-lose ratios in the series. Because he just starts out so strong. His win against Zaku, his win against Kankuro right here. Like, even though Kankuro and Zaku may not be on the same level, Shino beats both of them, okay? Also, when we see how him and his team does during the fourth portion of the Chunin exams, they were one of the teams who completed that part of the exam very quickly and got both scrolls to continue on to the next part of the exam. Did you guys know this about the puppets in Naruto? This went overlooked by me for the longest. This puppet used the substitution jutsu. I never thought about a puppet doing that. Like, I know it's such a simple thing, but I feel like we usually only see, like, ninjas and, like, humans used that jutsu, not, like, inanimate objects. What's not mentioned a lot is Gaara's effect on Sasuke. People love to talk about how Orochimaru was a big influence on Sasuke, and Itachi was a big influence on Sasuke, and then Tobi Obito was a big influence on Sasuke. But Gaara had an influence on him as well. He helped to push him more towards that darker side of himself. Gaara literally says, hey, like, we have the same eyes. Eyes that thirst for power. Eyes that thirst for revenge, that thirst for all these things that feed the inner darkness in themselves. And it's like Kakashi does try to get his 2 cents in during this moment, but he doesn't really push that much. It's like, yo, you know your student is being tempted by the curse mark by Orochimaru. Yo, you can say more and, like, try to influence your student more. Come on now. And what's also interesting is that Gaara also says, hey, you actually have friends, Sasuke, but our eyes are still similar. Man, Gaara was different. We just got introduced to Sasuke's new move, the Chidori, and Gaara literally just ate that attack with one of his arms. Of course, during his partial transformation. Like, Gaara just got up laughing about it. That's when Sasuke should have just walked away. But of course, he got played because he went for one more Chidori. And it's so bad because this attempt at this Chidori that triggered his curse mark to react again. And it didn't even work because the monster arm just grew back. Sasuke got played, man. But that's okay because Naruto swoops in to save the day. This is a good moment for so many reasons. Firstly, I can't seem to find the right word, but the way this moment was written is so good. Naruto's like, hey guys, let's get out of here. And then Gaara just says, too late. It's just the timing of it is just oddly perfect. And number two, Sakura gets big props for this moment, for defending Sasuke. Because there's no way that she thought that she was going to stop him in his tracks, but she still tried to anyway. And as a result, she did protect Sasuke from getting hit. It's just too bad that she's pretty much knocked out for the rest of the fight. But yeah. Did you know that Yashimaru was actually a member of the Anbu Black Ops in the Sand Village? Also, it's wild that Kishimoto allowed us to think that Yashimaru was really a butthole all the way up until the war arc. Spoilers for the war arc, that whole time, we're led to believe that he was just a butthole who hated Gaara. And we're thinking, no, the one you should hate is the Kazekage. But it comes out later that he didn't really hate Gaara. He did indeed, in fact, hate the Kazekage. Every time Naruto fails to summon a giant toad, I can't help but think that him failing is so Ash Ketchum coded. It's like that 90s Ash Ketchum trope where he constantly makes stupid mistakes. It's like, oh, let's have the main character goof off for a few moments before he saves the day. Naruto farting in Kiba's face is also in this category for me. I don't know, it just reminds me of Ash Ketchum and how he needs 10,000 tries before he gets it right. But in Naruto, there is a reason as to why Naruto fails the first few times. The one thing that makes no sense is Tamari saying this. She said that if Gaara does a complete transformation, that no one's gonna survive, including herself. Now I want to ask the question, then what was the plan? Cause it sounds like you guys wanted him to transform to destroy the Leaf Village. But now she's saying that if he transforms fully, that she's not gonna survive. So was the plan for him to transform and then they all just run away, or they go into hiding and wait it out, or what? What was the plan there?
This is the first time that Sasuke has seen Naruto fight since the exam in the forest,
when they went up against the Rain Ninja. So it honestly makes sense that Sasuke is surprised at Naruto's growth here. He didn't see Naruto versus Kiba, he didn't see Naruto versus Neji, and now Naruto is amassing a lot of chakra and about to do an ultimate combo move.
So yeah, Sasuke feels a little in the dark. It's also worth noting that Naruto's chakra here is blue.
So he's not even using the Nine-Tails chakra yet.
This is probably pretty simple, but the reason why Naruto couldn't summon the giant toad first in this moment was because he still didn't have a good use of chakra control. And as a result, he had to use up his own chakra, which was the blue chakra that he was using before. He used it on the Clone Slam move and then on the 2K Barrage. And then after that, he was out of his own chakra, then he could use the Nine-Tails chakra. And now with the Nine-Tails chakra, then he can summon the giant toad.
Having Naruto use the transformation jutsu in order to turn into the Nine-Tails was a good first peek at the Nine-Tails in the village. And it makes sense, because you can't just have Naruto turn into the Nine-Tails fully this early into the series. But it was a good shock value thing, you know? And this way, we still got the theme of Naruto's inner beast going against Gaara's inner beast, even though that's not really what happened. It was more of just the imagery. But where I'm surprised is that no one else really took notice of the Nine-Tails being in the village again. Except for the people that were present in the battle, like Sasuke, Pakun. I understand why Sasuke feels away. He just saw Naruto, 1, make 1,000 clones, do an ultimate finisher that's based off of his move, the Lion Barrage, but with 2K clones. And then he saw him summon a giant toad, and then he saw him transform the toad into the Nine-Tails. I understand why Sasuke has this face, and why he might be a little frustrated. I get it. And Naruto is matching Gaara counter for counter. If we're gonna be honest, this should have been a moment where Naruto was celebrated in the village. I know that during the training exams, after he won his fight against Neji, they did cheer, but this should have also been like a pain moment when he was being cheered because he saved the village from pain. But it's almost like no one even really knew that this happened except for Sasuke, and Sakura found out later, and then the Toads knew too. And then also Gaara and the Sand siblings knew as well. It's honestly wild that Naruto didn't get his fair share of props for this feat. Like, even Kakashi, how much does he really know about this fight and what went down here? Do you remember the tension between Kabuto and Kakashi? The type of timing these two were on was like, hey, when I get a chance to face you one-on-one, it's on sight, it's over for you. But this never really happened. Even in Shippuden, the moment where they could have met, It was Yamato who was the team captain during that mission. So much built up tension between these two for just to not happen. It could have happened in the beginning of Shippuden. It could have happened in the war arc too, but the face-off between these two just didn't really come to fruition. Okay, I mean, I think there was a moment in the middle of Shippuden when they were looking for Itachi where he popped up and said, "Hey guys, I'm the new Orochimaru now." But that was not a full fight. Come on, y'all know what I mean. A full fight. Do you remember when the Akatsuki first appeared? Kisame makes a comment that it sounds like Itachi might miss his old home. But Itachi quickly denies this. Now, narratively in the moment, this conversation could have just been to let us know that, hey, one of these guys is from the Leaf Village. And it's probably the Itachi guy that we've heard so much about up until this point. But after the retcon, we can also see this as Itachi really is showing compassion and a real concern for the village. And Kisame was able to catch on to this. These two are on a mission to carry out a plan that we will see in the next arc, the Search for Tsunade arc. Thank you everyone for watching the video. The jutsu breakdowns for this arc will be coming soon, as well as the manga cover rankings. And then on to the Search for Tsunade arc. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like and a comment, and subscribe for more Naruto content. Okay, have a good one.